On Sunday, 30th of May, President Uhuru Kenyatta lands in the lake city of Kisumu, and with him, a lot of what Kenyans call goodies. I was sent something doing the rounds by my son that shows the number of projects, the billions that go into those projects that Uhuru Kenyatta is going to launch. For some, I think even to open, to officiate in the opening. So heavy is the investment in the Nyanza region that some people are certainly unhappy about that. There are those, especially from the mountain, who believe that Uhuru Kenyatta is concentrating on Nyanza at the expense of the mountain. That is a lie, a fat lie, and I'll be talking about it later. Nyanza region will be celebrating, and indeed they ought to be happy. But this is not peculiar to Nyanza. There are also those who will be feeling that this deal between Raila and Uhuru was meant to favor Nyanza. Again, they are wrong. And again, I'll be talking about it. But that is not what I want to talk about this morning. This morning, I don't want to talk about the heavy investment in Nyanza that Uhuru is going to unveil. I want to talk about the heavy announcement, an earth-shaking announcement that when President Uhuru Kenyatta takes to the podium on Tuesday, the 1st of June, being our 58th Madaraka Day, the day this country got internal self-rule. I want to believe on that day, he will take us back to 1963, when his father, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, and Raila's father, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, wore similar caps, signifying the unity between the two and the two communities, and indeed the entire country. I want to take Kenyans back to the 9th of March, 2018, when President Uhuru Kenyatta and Prime Minister Raila Odinga, on the steps of Harambee House, announced a handshake deal. The handshake has remained a secret known only to the two. Although we have had snippets of it, although they have let us a bit into the secret, I believe on the 1st of June, 2021, the secret will be no more. That Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, the President of the Republic of Kenya, will do what many people say if you do, you are doing wrong. He will put his hand on Raila Amolo Odinga to be Kenya's next president. I've always believed the handshake deal is about sorting out the mess of this country. In order to sort out the mess of this country, the mess that has made smaller countries than us economically overtake us and do so badly. The mess that is seeing tiny small countries like Rwanda beginning to shine in many areas and becoming the envy of the region. The mess that has meant that a country like Tanzania, backwards many times over compared to Kenya, is going to be ahead of us in less than 10 years to come. Nothing wrong with us. The mess that we have created, that once Somalia, a country fragmented for almost 30-something years, almost 30 years, will soon overtake us as soon as they sort out their political mess. We have to sort out this mess in order for us to take our pride of place. To do so, witnessing the handshake, it occurred to me that Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Odinga, had come to the realization that unless you sort out the politics of this country, we will forever remain backwards, and no narrative hustler or otherwise, no effort will see us realize our economic potential. In sorting out the political mess of this country, you will have to go back to 1963 and see the role that Jaramogi Oginga Odinga played in the independence of this country, in elevating Mzee Jomo Kenyatta to the position he got, and of the betrayal after betrayal, of the persecution, and of the sense of entitlement of one community in this country. If you sort out that problem, I am certain all else will fall in place. Kwame Nkrumah once said, "Seek ye the political kingdom, and all else shall follow." People have argued against that and said Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana was wrong, that you seek first the economic kingdom. That is wrong. You cannot sort out the economics of a country. You cannot sort out the mess of a country until you sort out the politics of that country. You cannot sort out the politics of this country until you sort out the betrayal of this country. The betrayal of Jomo Kenyatta to his own brother, compatriot Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. The betrayal of Mwai Kibaki, an otherwise sterling president, to Raila Amolo Odinga. This is part of our history. You can try to run away from it. America has been trying to run away from the race problem. But every so often, the ugly head of racism rears its head, as indeed it did in 2020 last year. A country that thinks that it can sort out its mess by running away from its problem, by burying its head in the sand like the proverbial ostrich, will never sort out the problem. And to the extent that you have never sorted out your problem, the real problem, you will never progress. So Kenya will never progress until you sort out this problem. If Mwai Kibaki had not betrayed Raila Odinga, this country will be a different place. We will be among the BRICS. That K will be double to mean Kenya. We will be very, very far because we had done everything except for that. I believe, therefore, when Uhuru Kenyatta looks back at this history, when he looks at the deal that must have informed the handshake, on the 1st of June, he will see, as he addresses Kenyans, the image of his father and the image of Raila's father in the similar cups, the Independence Cup. Ile kofia walikuwa wamevaa inafanana na ushanga na rangi za Kenya. Wakati Uhuru Kenyatta ataona hiyo, itakuwa ni wakati wa kusema ukweli kwamba handshake hii ilifanywa kwa minajili ya Wakenya, na ili tuendelee mbele, Wakenya watahitaji, alivyosema David Murathe, kuangalia kama tuna Mandela moment and say something about his brother. Many people have argued that if you become anointed by somebody, you fail. You are called a project. Raila Amolo Odinga is beyond being called a project. This is a monument. This is a huge man. He does not need much support to become president. All he needs is the goodwill of the state, which has not been there. The problem with countries like Kenya has not been with elections. It has been with the transfer of power, that you win an election, but because of the system and the state and vested interest, that transfer never takes place. That is what has been making Raila not go to State House. So there's no way you can say Raila can be a project. I want to urge, I believe this will happen, that if you do that early enough, because you waited for BBI, and now that BBI is facing challenges, I am not sure that the appeal court or the Supreme Court will annul this, set aside this judgment in a manner I think they should, because they must. First, because they fear people think this thing is bad. and the court has said it. 2, I'm not sure of the competence of the court. 3, I'm not sure of the competence of the lawyers, even those pushing for the appeal. And for that reason, you cannot know where BBI will go. And therefore, Raila has been waiting for BBI. I'm sure Uhuru has been waiting for BBI. Wait no more. Get it out. Deal with the fallout. Let some people go. They will come back because they will realize there is nowhere they are going. Because sooner than later, like I've said before, William Ruto will remain alone after the Kikuyus desert him. Once the Mount Kenya people have deserted William Ruto, once that happens, or he remains with a fragment of the mountain vote, and perhaps a strong Kikuyu candidate emerges, you will simply have a runoff between Raila Odinga and a Gema candidate. But with the Muturi, Joho from the coast, Mudavadi, Oparanya, Wetangula, Mukisa Kitui from Western, with other forces from Ukambani like Kalonzo Musyoka, Alfred Mutua, Ngilu, you have the entire country with you. Make this major announcement, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, my president, and deal with the fallout. For I'm sure there is no time left. This is the time to make it clear and tell Kenyans why you are doing it. You are doing it in the interest of this country.